Who's heard that popular anxiety song? Oh man, I say it like that because I love it. Like it's very catchy and music is very in tune with emotions, and they nailed it with that clip. It's blowing up. It's catchy to me, and it's sad, kind of because words hold a lot of power. Words are spells, and they're spells over us and our reality. So to have a catchy tune that is talking about anxiety and not necessarily overcoming it, but at least being aware of it, right? That's amazing. So let's dive into anxiety a little bit about what that means. My name's Deb. I spell that with two B's. I'm a human sharing my experiences to help you gain confidence in yours. If you like what you hear, like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I try to post at least 3 times a week. So let's dive in. What does anxiety mean? I don't really know what it means. I know I look back to the experiences of my life and socializing has not been easy for me at some stages of my life. And I say in some stages of my life because as a child, I remember socializing was not a problem for me. It wasn't a problem until people started putting me in a box, or people started making me feel shy, or people started giving me anxiety. So, as a child, I remember being loud and rambunctious and always being told to calm down, settle down, be quiet. Like strangers didn't scare me. I was excited for life. I was excited to meet people. I was excited to grow old and do all these things. And then little by little, I stopped. Little by little, I wanted solitude. Little by little, I didn't trust people. Little by little, I started to grow a hatred for society. And then, I mean, I remember many situations, even one night trying to go out to a bar for New Year's Eve, and we went all the way there. I didn't even get inside the doors. We got out of the vehicle, walked through the parking lot, and I told my partner at the time I couldn't go in. I can't. I said I literally can't. I have my body is screaming, and you physically cannot make me go in there right now. We got in the car and went home. A few more years down the road, post that relationship, the end of that relationship was a whole, like that, my awakening ended that relationship. It was the start of the awakening. It was the start of Deb. It was the start of Spirit telling me to make videos, of which from 2016 to now is how long it's taken me to build the confidence of what I have to offer to make these videos. I went from the only people I hugged were romantic partners and my two children. That was it. I didn't hug my parents. I didn't hug my siblings. I probably still haven't really hugged my siblings. Or, I mean, I still don't really hug my family that well, but there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people out there that I have now hugged. And not only have I hugged them, but they remember my hugs as being one of the best hugs they've ever had. I very much so am labeled as one of the best hugs in Moab. I don't know if you remember me talking about chakra work a lot last summer. You're not going to find it on these videos. It was definitely some Instagram things. And the chakras, if you were to think of it as a bottom and you have a top and you start at the bottom, it's like a ladder, and you go up, and there's 7 of them. And each one has different layers of attributes, characteristics, personalities, energies. And through that, one of the first ones is grounding and stability, feeling safe, feeling secure. Right. And then after that, we have creation and our sexual energy. Then we have our willpower, our inner fire. And I've realized a lot of stages of my life have really followed the chakra patterns as far as evolving into the person that I am. I had to learn stability. I had to learn faith that no matter what happened, things were going to be okay. I don't know what not okay is, but whatever it is, aside from dying, it's like I've been very blessed with mostly good health, but it's like there's a lot of things that happen that's I have felt like, well, this is the worst it can get. That's it, right? So overcoming that is taking care of the stability foundation, the feeling secure. And then you have your sexual power and creation power that you have to harness. Otherwise, you're just going to be leaking energy through lust and thirst traps and flings, or you're going to be the opposite spectrum. I mean, I guess I jumped to the active sex life, overactive sexual chakra, because that's my style. Pregnant at 16, what can I say? I'm not gonna deny it. And but you could be on the other side. You could be very repressed. You could be someone that's very shy in the bedroom, and maybe that's a different, that's just the other end of the spectrum, but it's still a blockage and a level that you need to go through, right? I think that's where a lot of people get stuck at, mostly because sex has been shamed for however long. Like, in our culture that I was raised in, sex was very shamed. And yet, sex is very natural. And as an adult, I think it is absolutely disgusting that the things that they can show on Netflix as far as harming another human being is okay, but sex is taboo. That is completely backwards. I mean, I understand we don't, I like porno. I don't know if you can say those words, but adult videos is also a leak of your energy. I've had times where that was definitely something I indulged in and I enjoyed it, and I would indulge with others and we would enjoy it. And I knew that there was always a fine line though, and I was able to separate. Sure, I can separate reality from whatever. Um, but I can't, at this point, I can't tell you the last time that I have looked at an adult video, and I don't miss it. I have a lot more energy of my own personal sexual energy without it being leaked out with that. So that's wonderful. Then after that, we have our willpower. We have our center and our fire, right? That's the fire of our soul. It's friendships, it's how we relate to other people. And that's another step that we have to go through. And so after the situations of like I've been through all of those, I feel like I've really harnessed, I really trust in the universe, especially after this last year. If anything has taught me trust in the universe, it's this last year for sure. And yeah, it's so next is the heart, right? And to go from being afraid of strangers and being very critical and not wanting to be around other people to welcoming people, not judging people, opening my heart to people. Like, the heart is the center of the seven chakras, and it connects the lower earth, the lower three, the earthly items that we kind of just went over, and it's going to connect to the top three items that we're going to go through next. And I've definitely felt my heart just open up so wide, so wide. And after the heart is the throat chakra, speaking your truth. And if these videos aren't placing me there now, I don't know what else is. I will say I've never really thought of myself to be a singer. And through understanding light language and learning to pull the voice through the different parts of the body and the different chakras with the different notes, which is something I'm just barely tapping into and learning, like, it's giving me a lot of confidence. And these videos, learning tonality matters. I know that sometimes I'm like, oh, I can feel it here and it's very raspy. And then other times when I'm on a really passionate subject, sometimes my voice will go really high and I'm just really talkative and It's just the voice goes all over the place. And then next is going to be the third eye chakra, insight and wisdom. And I'm already getting there through it's like it's next, you know? These videos are what's next. Any type of intuition, insight, or wisdom that I'm going to offer on this isn't from me specific. I have my experiences that I share, but the lessons and or tools that I share are nothing from me specific. They've already been passed down from religion, from scriptures, from the Buddhas, from whoever. Like anytime there's been like a prophet or a god that people have turned into an idol, it's never about the person, it's always about the message. And even they have stated as such. We're just the messengers to help translate what comes through. Connection, crown chakra is the seventh one. Feeling connected and trusting the universe. And so me, how I believe, I believe that the universal, the celestial bodies are very energetic. And every single person has a specific energetic imprint, blueprint, I'm not sure what to call it, but your birth chart, from the time, a location that you were born. But not only that, like human design, it takes that. It's like zodiac. It takes the time, day that you were born, but it also takes the placement of as far as where you were on Earth, and it takes a pause. It takes a screenshot of space where all the planets are and the stars and where they're at in conjunction with each other and in relation to each other, and the sun and the moon. And then it will also do that for the time that your soul was conceived in the womb, and then the time you're born, and then I think sometime after you're born too, like 80 days or something after you're born. And there's all this information, and everyone has their own specific blueprint from what was happening with the energies that no doubt affect us. And those are different signatures for our souls, because we are energy. And so with human design, we can learn our different gifts and our strengths, and also things where they aren't our strengths. And some things that aren't our strengths doesn't mean we can ever really actually change them. We can become aware of them and learn how to work with them, but some things we actually just can't change. It's just how we are. And so we just want to learn how we are and learn how to work with it. But for me, through my human design, it is becoming very clear that I have a way of relating with others that others appreciate. Others feel a sense of warmth and comfort from the way that we relate, that our interactions are, the conversations that we have, the way that I make them feel seen and welcomed. I went from being completely terrified of society, not liking strangers at all, just thinking the whole world sucked, to now knowing that I have a voice and I have insights and I have one amazing life experiential advice that I can share, and I'm here for it, and others show up for it, and I'm not afraid of strangers anymore. There are some strangers that I'm afraid of, but I just put up a little energetic white bubble and say a little prayer and go about my way. But usually, and I mean, if I have to do that, that's because there are other things on this bubble. But also, like, see, there's so many theories about the truth and reality, and how much really is created entirely by us, and how much is also still very much so co-creations with other people. Because even though everyone is also creating their own reality, only we would cross if my reality says that we would cross. And so that's a lot more of advanced things. I feel like with these videos, I'm focusing on the very basics, the very bottom three. Let's work on security. Let's work on anxiety. Let's work on getting to know ourselves. Let's work on feeling confident and vibrant with our sexuality. Sexuality doesn't just mean like whatever with people, like there's a sexual creative energy to that. And even not having sex, but knowing that sexual energy and using that sexual energy for creative ideas, like that's really what it's about. Sexual retention, to use that energy elsewhere, to bring that up through all the chakras and use it for our gifts. That's sexual alchemy. And that's amazing. I think I started this video with anxiety. And I guess I just wanted to share that anxiety is something you can get over. There's this one person that I am learning a lot from, and he will host events where there's a crowd of people, and he'll have one or two people come up on stage at the same time and run through exercises with them. And one of them is to scream as loud as possible. And I'm literally shocked at the amount of people that can barely squeak out anything. And most of the time they freeze and giggle or shut down. And it's just really interesting. I think I would like to hold things of a sort, because the way he helps them work through it, he pulls them out of their shell, and he gets them, I mean, maybe they're not screaming as loud as they can, but he gets them to where they're trying and they're getting out of their comfort zone. And that's the important part. It's getting them out of their comfort zone and seeing that they can get out of their comfort zone without the world ending. Anxiety can be so crippling. And we just need to take a few breaths and understand where anxiety is coming from. My name's Deb. I'm going to end it here because I can see some personal things popping up on my phone that I am now completely distracted. So, my name's Deb, sharing my human experiences to hopefully help you gain confidence in your human experiences. Like, comment, subscribe, follow for more. I'm posting a minimum of 3 videos a week. They're only going to get better and better because that's the way the world works. Cheers.